Well, it's opening day at Wrigley Field, so we're spending the whole Buzz segment talking about this. No pun intended. In today's Buzz, we're talking beer. In honor of opening day at Wrigley, we are joined by two of the ballpark's beer vendors, Dan Bragiel and Jordan Hobfall. And a little something Cubs fans may not know. Beer vendors have their own trading cards and website, courtesy of you guys, and T-shirts that are becoming very hot property.
Yes, yes.
And it's the Beer Vendors Association, which doesn't really exist, but it's part of the website, huh?
Yeah, it's just a nice, fun thing.
How did you come up with this, Dan?
We were at orientation last year.
Beer vendor orientation?
Yeah, just pretty much.
Can't imagine what that's like.
It's pretty long. It's just filling out tax forms and going through alcohol training classes and stuff.
Right.
No real technique training or anything like that. And we finished up the game, the training. We had some old styles. We're just sitting around. We're doing some Google searching. We're like, why isn't there anything on beer vendors? We get one article from Sports Illustrated, but it doesn't relate to us. And it came up out of there.
Let's do a website. Yeah. Jordan, why don't you pick up the story from there? What happened after that?
I think at that point, they just started, create the website. They wanted to do some poses on the website. Yeah. And then I actually wasn't one of the creators of the website, but I was one of the first people they approached about being on. And
so you have trading cards that you sell from the website, is that right?
It's mostly just the shirts.
The shirts, okay.
The trading cards are possible, but it's hasn't yet got to the point of trading card distribution.
Well, if you hadn't gotten the drift, it's taking on a life of its own now, right? And anything's possible, is that fair to say?
Yeah, if there's demand, yeah, sure, why not? But it's just mostly T-shirts. It's just really to make ourselves rock stars, I guess. We are cool. We are cool beer vendors.
Well, you're not the prototype beer vendor that we remember at Wrigley Field.
Well, yeah, they are around, and they're great guys.
Some of them have been there decades, and you've only been there a few years. Yeah.
Some of these guys.
So you're doing the website in your off hours, and Jordan, what's your off-hour occupation?
Generally, it's either a Democratic political campaign or more recently it's been disaster relief. Worked Katrina for the Red Cross, and I went more recently to Pakistan for the United Nations to do relief of South Asia earthquake.
Wonderful, admirable, and fair to say atypical of a beer vendor, at least our view of
perception.
them. Yeah. Before we leave you, and your website and your T-shirts, which are very cool, and we've shown the address on the air, can you give us a quick call as if we were sitting in the stands? We needed a beer.
All right, well, I'm an old style vendor, and it's pretty simple. Just old style beer.
That's it?
Yeah,
you can freak out our audio guy.
I'm like part of the Billy Bean era, where it's all based on statistic and numbers. I just work real hard. I go up the aisles.
Okay. Do you have a special pitch, Jordan?
Not so much a special pitch. It's much louder than that. So I'm just like, hey, beer here. Who wants beer? Beer? You're just trying to get their attention because you just, time's money there.
That's more familiar.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for being with us, and we'll look forward. Which aisles do you work?
I work upper deck left usually.
I work upper deck right field almost generally.
Cool.
Section, yeah.
We'll look for you.
Thank you.
All right, and still to come, Ellie?
All right, thanks a lot, guys. It is now 6:43.